To start, buckle up, 'cause here we go! What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. I heard noise in the background, and it was my phone. Welcome to the MG Show, everybody. It is Tuesday. Happy Veterans Day. God bless you all. President Trump laid the wreath at the unknown soldier today. An amazing sight to see. God bless all of our veterans. Thank you very much for serving, and we will make America great again. It's happening, Shady.
It is happening. Thank you guys so much for being here on another Veterans Day, another trip around the sun that we have made it here to sit and watch the. A year ago, we were just getting started with the this historic administration that is currently leading air out of the depths of nothingness and irrelevance, which is where we were, guys. You have to understand this. We were on the precipice of our country being gone forever, and nobody even 200 years from now even able to remember what America was. We were on the brink of that, and Donald Trump single-handedly has turned it around and changed it, and now he's putting the veterans, the people that stood in the gap for this country to exist for 250 years, those are the people that are the heroes. Not all of these talking heads out there that scream and yell at you and tell you that journalism is somehow a necessary occupation. The necessary occupation is for people to love the country enough to stand up for it and defend it. And God bless all of them here on this day.
Real Iron Eagle says, happy Veterans Day to all those who have served with distinction, and happy birthday to the legendary George S. Patton. And Perkins Perspective says, Patriot music would have been great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Got
yeah.
some?
I don't know. Some that's not copyright free, maybe. I mean, we have
like anything that we play, they're going to censor, so we can't really play Patriot music very
so
much.
Thank you, Joe Ray. We love you. Just hum something nice. That way. Wait. Wait, I don't know. How do I hum it? What you want to hum, Shady?
Really, no, man. I mean, I'm thinking that you're getting stuck in a corner here.
I'm stuck in a corner, but we're gonna fight our way out of this wet paper bag.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome to the show, guys. We are on YouTube, youtube.com/InTheMatrix with 3 X's. If you guys don't know where it is, somebody says the sound is cutting out, but I'm not so sure if that's really happening or not. Lelig's, we're live, and we got Cue Ball Frank over there, Philip P over there, Null Set is over there, Liberty 111 is there. Love you, Liberty. Mike Hess is over on YouTube as well, and we got our Crown CD Cambria is number one top fan still. Mike Hess is number two. Oh boy, we got and then Garden Aya B is number three. Oh, Lincoln Logger just came in with a number three crown. Oh, Lee Liggs is number two. Oh my gosh, we got a crown battle.
Hey, we're coming down the backstretch into turn three.
And no kings. All right, so we got a lot to go through today. In fact, yesterday on this very show, we basically were saying that President Trump basically exposed the Obamacare cartel, the insurance companies, right? Saying that, they're making 1,700% profits or 1,100% profits ever since Obamacare happens, enriching the insurance companies and not making care great again, Shady.
And one thing that I wanted to, that I meant to say yesterday that I didn't get to is I'd like for you to take, because there's two situations that are connected that you probably don't realize are connected. And those two situations are Obamacare and CVD. Those two things are connected in a way that you don't understand, because Obamacare was developed so that something like that would happen in the future, and then they would be able to capture the whole system. Okay, yeah. That's what was going down, and that's what the
system was going down, and essentially too, Shady, healthcare.
That's
right?
Exactly right, 100%. And they needed Obamacare to get implemented so that all of those contracts were in place, so that no one could get out of the contract whenever it started to collapse, and the whole system would collapse on itself. So the idea that we've navigated this many years since Obamacare and through what happened in 2018 or 2019 and 2020 is pretty close to a miracle.
Yeah, Black Hat says our sound is in and out on YouTube, Yeti. I don't know what that means, but everybody's saying it's okay on Rumble. Could it be a YouTube issue? I don't know, guys.
Wow, that would be the first time that we had sound issues on
YouTube. Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Kami Care says Land of Hoya. G Brothers, thank you so much. One gifted subscription to the MG Show. Appreciate it. Went to have a Veterans Day program, grandkids school, 400 at gym, full people saying the Pledge of Allegiance, made my eyes water. You could feel the patriotism. Mary 81, that is a beautiful sight to see. I'm old enough to remember that we said it every day.
We did. We did too. Whenever I was young and in school, we would say it every morning. And I even remember that we would go outside in elementary school and watch them raise the flag in the morning.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And guys, right now, I hope you guys are staying warm. It is 44 degrees right where I am at today, with 44? A high of 64, guys. And tonight, it could get down to iguana falling out of tree weather, 42 degrees.
So basically, you're going to be out there with a bag trying to catch them, and you can take them down and sell them at your local pet store.
They're leather kitty cats, aren't they?
Little leather kitty cats.
Yeah. Wow. Meow. All right, so President Trump posted this video. Who else also showed you Promethean action maybe about 2 months ago? Who else? What other show?
It was the MG Show.
It was the MG Show, because we're kind of following along, and they're tracking along with what we've been saying for the last 7 years, Shady Groove.
Yeah, they are tracking along. They're running into a couple edges, but they're doing pretty good.
I agree. QAnon bad. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Michael Flynn good.
All right. So this is posted by Donald J. Trump, 17 minutes and 41 seconds. It is called the Shutdown Truth. Trump destroys the Obamacare's insurance cartel. Let's watch it, Shady.
And I definitely have some interesting things to say at the end of this, because this is a pretty good summation.
Yep, let's go.
President Trump did something absolutely brilliant this weekend. His weapon? A series of Truth Social posts that completely changed the government shutdown narrative. And I'm going to show you exactly how he did it, starting with Senator Mark Wayne Mullen discussing it yesterday.
The president said this morning, I'm recommending to Senate Republicans that the hundreds of billions of dollars currently being sent to money-sucking insurance companies in order to save the bad health care provided by Obamacare be sent directly to the people so they can purchase their own much better health care and have money left over.
Absolutely brilliant move by the president, and I agree with him 100%. These insurance companies, we're subsidizing them to have high health premiums anyways. Keep in mind, ACA, affordable health care, has not been affordable. President Obama said it was going to drop premiums by 25%. As we sit here right now, without the premium increase that the health care industry is putting on the American people, it's up 221%. And why are we subsidizing them an additional 4% when they're making record profits? Which I'm a capitalist. I'm okay with insurance companies making money, but taxpayers shouldn't pad their pockets even more on top of that. What President Trump is saying is, hey, let's give the money to the individual and let them choose their own health care and use the money for actual health care rather making insurance companies even more profitable. I think it's brilliant.
Now, if you've been watching the mainstream media, you'd think the Republican Party is, quote, in a new civil war. They're claiming the ultimate battle came when Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes. Every major media outlet pushed that talking point Saturday. But here's what they're not telling you. The Republican Party has been in a civil war ever since Donald Trump walked down the escalator in 2015. It's between rhinos and the new Republican Party. This isn't news. What is news?
What? This video will, it's not, it's live as ended. Okay.
Is that Trump just exposed the biggest lie
Thank you, Facebook.
Democrats have been selling for weeks, that we're protecting the little guy by holding out for Obamacare subsidies in the shutdown. I'm Barbara Boyd, and I've been studying American system economics, the economic framework Trump is using, since we rediscovered these ideas in the 1970s. I've also reported extensively on the British instigated coup against President Trump since it began in 2016. Today, I'm going to report on two interrelated stories. First, how Trump's economic offensive this weekend kicked senators and congressmen into line to fight for the policies you voted for in November. And second, I'm giving you a major update on the fight against the deep state, where the walls are finally closing in on the real conspirators. You'll see that even the BBC, the crown jewel of British propaganda, is taking a big hit. So buckle up and please like and share this video right now. It helps us build our audience to the size we need to win this fight. Here again is what I thought was the president's killer Truth Social post. Democrats claim to be working for the little guy and driving down your health insurance. But the Obamacare scam goes straight to their best friends in the insurance industry. They are making a killing, while health coverage only gets worse. If Democrats get their way again, they're in for another huge payday at the expense of the American people. No deal. Republicans should give money directly to your personal health savings accounts that I expanded in our great, big, beautiful bill. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Throughout the last month, old school Republican candidates mostly hid as Democrats attacked Trump's affordability crisis. Inflation is way down, but it's not fully cured. Instead of telling the truth and supporting Trump's tariff-based rebuild of the U.S. economy, the Republican Party's losers campaigned on the wedge social issue of 4 years running, boys and girls bathrooms and sports. That when people are having a hard time making ends meet. That's why it was refreshing to see Senator Mark Wayne Mullen respond to Marjorie Taylor Greene's complaint that the White House isn't giving the cost of living any attention it's deserved. Let's listen to his answer.
I don't know if I agree with that. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she's great, but I don't know what she's talking about. Walmart just came out and said that grocery prices are down over 20% this time last year. They said Thanksgiving, and that was the CEO of Walmart. Amazon said that the trinkets, the things you were buying last year for Christmas, are down. We have inflation that was at a high of 9.1%, average of 5% underneath Biden. Today it's hovering around 2.5%. Energy prices are down, the lowest they've been since President Trump was last in office. And we know energy is the backbone of inflation. you can't make a product, you can't deliver a product without factoring the energy costs into it. So prices are down. What is up is protein, which is a lot of people, protein meaning pork, chicken, and beef. The president made a huge step at that the other day. If you saw a Truth Social post, he said he's going to look at the meat packers because the meat packing industry is consolidated, and 3 of the top 4 meat packers are foreign owned. 2 of them out of Brazil, 1 of them in China. That's a national security issue. Plus the difference between what we sell, I'm a rancher myself, what we sell cattle for, what we call in the hoof or feed cattle, and what the retail is, there's such a huge gap. It's the biggest gap we see in any industry, from a product being made to the product of retail. That's where the president's focus is.
Senator Mullen just talked about the other great idea the president put out, going after the big 4 meat processing cartels who have made meat a luxury item. Now the Justice Department has been tasked to investigate and remedy that. Senate Republicans let Democrats lie for weeks that providing billions in continuing subsidies to Americans added to Obamacare during COVID was somehow a righteous necessity. Trump turned that completely around by showing that the only people who benefit from this are the rapacious Wall Street and London insurance companies. Health insurers' profits have jumped 230% since the Unaffordable Care Act passed. Now the shutdown has started to be solved, and there is a big opportunity to fix the mess, which is Obamacare. Trump has already aimed at the root causes of spiraling costs through Maha's attack on chronic disease and regulatory capture by Big Pharma. The president took another step last week in bringing prescription drug prices down with his agreement on GLP-1 drug pricing. Similar moves are underway with other costly drugs. Now we need to find ways to get Wall Street out of running medical practices and hospitals. And we also need a whole lot more doctors and nurses. Otherwise, Treasury Secretary Bessent provided an accurate account yesterday of where inflation stands with Trump as opposed to Biden after just 10 months. Let's hear him out.
What we're not going to do is what happened under the Biden administration, where the administration and the media gaslit everyone and said, there's a vibe session. You don't understand how good you had it. And what happened then was we had the worst inflation 40 or 50 years, 22, 23%, but the basket of goods and services for working Americans was up more than 30%. And what we're seeing is we had to stop the increase first. Now we are starting to see prices level off, come down. Gasoline is down, interest rates are down, so mortgages are down, and I think we are making substantial progress on that. And I think over the coming months and the next year, prices are going to come down.
As we build new plants and equipment and bring supply chains home with Trump's tariff and trade policies, Trump's focus is on skilled jobs with high wages for workers. Secretary Bessent has repeatedly said that they're aiming for wage levels which can outpace any inflation. Now, the simplest definition of inflation I've ever found is too much money chasing too few productive goods. The cure is to build and change the entire equation with productive jobs. Not only that, building out the economy of the future changes human identities in ways completely opposite to the pessimism and despair which the low-wage gig economy breeds. We can tell you the real story because we focus on dynamics and facts rather than manufactured outrage. That is critical as we head into the crucial midterms. If you haven't already, become a subscriber to our newsletter. The link is in the description. So now the big conspiracy begins to get a case to match. Are we finally going after the British? There is now a federal grand jury meeting in Florida, which is issuing some 30 subpoenas covering the opening of the Russiagate criminal conspiracy against the Trump 2016 campaign and the first Trump presidency. Subpoena recipients include John Brennan, Peter Strzok, and Lisa Page, among others, and I think they'll work their way up to Barack Hussein Obama. While that's great, I keep insisting that you have to start with the Brits, when you're looking at the opening and continuation of this conspiracy against Donald Trump and the American people. A now infamous Guardian article admitted the whole deal. And like all good British intelligence regime change operations, particularly delicate ones like those against the United States, they were quick to tidy things up. After manufacturing dirt on Trump and illegally surveilling the Trump campaign, Robert Hannigan, who was then head of GCHQ, their NSA, resigned unexpectedly in January of 2017. He said he needed to spend time with his family. And after MI6 agent Christopher Steele peddled his fabricated dirty dossier on Trump and Russia, the lead British government security official, Sir Mike Lyle Grant, privately told the Trump White House the British intelligence did not find Christopher Steele trustworthy. That was after Sir Richard Dearlove, the former head of MI6, Sir Christopher Andrew, the Dean of British Intelligence History and the former British ambassador to Russia, and others claimed Steele was their golden boy on all things Russian. Now, there are hopeful signs that this cover-up is ending. First, the heads of the chief British propaganda arm, the BBC, just got canned because of what they did to Donald Trump just ahead of last November's election. Seems they doctored a major BBC documentary about Trump just ahead of the election. They clipped film to make it seem the president told his supporters to storm the Capitol on January 6, 2021. BBC Director General Tim Davie and CEO Deborah Turnus announced their resignations yesterday. They didn't just resign, they got canned. It follows the Daily Telegraph getting its hands on internal BBC documents from whistleblowers about this episode. That's not all. It appears that the administration is targeting the top official for the Center for Countering Digital Hate, Imran Ahmad, for deportation from the U.S. That group has been the main British censorship arm here. It was founded by Morgan McSweeney, Keir Starmer's chief of staff. McSweeney, you might remember, turned up leading the British Labour Party team, which came to the U.S. to campaign for Kamala Harris and defeat Donald Trump. And because of Senators Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson, the walls are now closing in on former special counsel Jack Smith. Smith's wildly illegal Arctic Frost FBI investigation is now under the spotlight. Arctic Frost was aimed at nothing less than jailing Trump for life and destroying critical organizations within the entire Republican Party. All of it to be accomplished ahead of the 2024 presidential election on orders from Joe Biden. It's the last op, if you will, of the seditious conspiracy which began with Russiagate in 2015, 2016, and ended with the January 6, 2021 overthrow of our government. Smith not only commenced 2 bogus criminal prosecutions against Donald Trump, he issued 197 subpoenas to 34 individuals and 163 businesses. His fishing expedition included the unprecedented seizure of President Trump's official White House phone and call data from Republican senators and congressmen. The 197 subpoenas requested testimony, communications, and records related to at least 430 named Republican individuals and entities. Some of the records Smith subpoenaed from banks, individuals, and businesses included communications with media companies such as CBS, Fox News, Fox Business, Newsmax, Sinclair, and others. Communications with, quote, any member, employee, or agent of the legislative branch of the U.S. government. Communications with White House advisors such as Stephen Miller, Dan Scavino, Jared Kushner, Laura Trump, and others. Statistical data and analysis relating to donors and fundraising efforts, broad financial data relating to conservative individuals and entities. You see, they wanted to take out the entire surviving apparatus of the Republican Party after Trump was in jail for life. These subpoenas were lawfare kill shots. JP Morgan Chase, for example, was subpoenaed by Smith for financial records concerning Truth Social. Truth Social didn't exist in the post-2020 election period Smith was appointed to investigate, but it was a vital outlet for the Trump campaign in 2024. JP Morgan debanked Truth Social as a result of the subpoena and refused to tell Truth Social why. Here's Devin Nunes telling Maurice Bartiromo the story yesterday.
Well, when the Arctic frost went after our bank records at Trump Media, that's inexplicable because we didn't exist. So what reason did they have to go after us? But I think furthermore, why did JP Morgan target us and not tell us? We're a Florida company. I mean, I can't believe this is not against Florida law, that it wouldn't be against federal law. But furthermore, during that time period, Maria, when we were a private company just going public, JP Morgan then debanked us at that time. Now, luckily enough, we had other banks in line, First Citizens, but right at the time that we were going public in early 2024, in the spring of 2024, right at the height of the campaign, we were trying to get our company that saved free speech, Truth Social, saving free speech, making sure that we all had a voice. At that time, JP Morgan inexplicably debanked us. And we need to know why that happened. You know, after discussing this with them for several months, going back and forth, it looked political at the time. But now we know that they were under subpoenas that they didn't tell us about as they were cooperating with the Biden Department of Justice.
So let's recap what we just reported. Trump has completely shifted the government shutdown game to where we might repair our disastrous healthcare system and other Wall Street games. At the same time, the City of London's long-standing conspiracy against Trump and the United States is finally taking big hits. These are the real dynamics in human history, not the media's manufactured controversies. We're on a drive to expand Promethean action into a major policy force ahead of the midterms. That starts with building out and expanding our subscriber base. If you haven't already,
if you haven't, go to Promethean. Go there and subscribe. But Donald Trump posted this video today, guys. And, you know, we've shown Promethean action. They're on the right track as well. And I thought that was pretty well put together. But this was treason, guys. I mean, what they did was treason, and it was to stop everybody from talking. It was to stop from Truth Social from going public. I mean, guys, you know, it's huge. And we are fighting a global elite, Shady.
We are fighting a global elite, and we're fighting the global elite that thinks differently than we do. And they think because we think differently that we don't have the right to exist. And I'd like to show you how that permeates all throughout what a communist agenda is. The same thing that they've done to us, correct? To this show. That's what the world is doing to America. Understand, that's what the world is doing to Donald Trump. Understand that people that actually want to bring unity, people that actually want to bring peace, people that actually can stand in the gap and do something about it are the biggest threat. Okay, the people that to wake people up are the biggest threat. And all of us have been sitting here, and all of us have been blessed. We're all blessed to have had a front row seat to watch each of these steps play out over the last 8 years. This is unbelievable. You know, I could not imagine. You know, it's like at some points we get so frustrated with the different in particulars of what's going on, guys. But like to see where we're at now, I'm thinking back like 25, 30 years ago to where, you know, like the cynicism could creep in and the doom and gloom was everywhere and there was no way out of it. They wanted to make it where there was no way for any of us to get out of what is going on. And right now you're being offered a doorway. You're being offered a thread, an eye of a needle that you're trying to thread here to understand, like, what Trump is trying to do to save America through this whole entangled mess that we're all in. And a big part of what they were talking about right there at the beginning of the meat and the protein is extremely crucial because this is what the globalists are targeting. The reason that they're targeting meat, beef, cattle in particular is because it's one of the greatest foods for your brain. If you're
bugs.
Yes, I know, honey. Eat bugs. If you have food for your brain and your brain actually functions and you have nutrients, you might actually come to conclusions that the people that are screaming at you on the television don't have your best interest in mind. And that's effectively what we're doing. We're showing you that not only can you act in your best interest, but we could, as a country, act in the best interest of everybody at the same time. We not leave anybody out. But the globalists can't do that because their whole model is built on scarcity. It's built on fear. They've got to have everything.
So Aisha R says Trump is playing the long game while they're trying to play the short. He will win. We will win. Trump is playing chess and they're playing checkers.
100%.
Good comment, Aisha. Thank you.
They might be playing t-ball or something. I mean, like they're not, like it's so bad what they're doing. Like this whole thing with Schumer. Like look at how, dude. Are you seeing that? There's memes out there like of violence being. There's memes out there already of violence being perpetuated against Chuck Schumer. They want Chuck Schumer taken out, quote unquote. Like wow. There are memes being passed around about that already. So this is how fast they turn on their own. And it should tell you a lot about who they really are.
So also yesterday, Shady Groove, President Trump addressed Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know if you saw that, man, but wow, she's lost her way, he says.
Yeah, I wonder if Brian was in the room when he said that yesterday. Oh no, that was yeah. I think he might have been there, standing there.
Yeah, that was yesterday's. Let's see. Let me go to it because it was very good. It was so he's doing the wreath laying ceremony today again. Thank you, veterans. Again, it's Veterans Day. We cannot thank you guys enough.
I think it was at the thing where for the
India. Yep.
India.
Yep.
Envoy, and boy, oh boy, Erica Kirk being there. Wasn't she beautiful to be there yesterday?
Yeah. Well, people are not liking that, Shady Groove.
Oh, I'm sure they're not because they have to attack her. They have to destroy Turning Point. You're going to see this, guys. This is going to escalate because Turning Point is getting so strong. Then the resistance to Turning Point has to get strong, and it's being wielded by InfoWars and Flynn networks. They're all the same people that did this crazy stuff to us are out there doing this crazy stuff to them.
Yeah, I mean, we've been a target of them, sadly. All we want to do, we just want the truth, nothing more. And all these psychological operations that are perpetuating. Apparently, there's another guy being sued by Alexis Wilkins. People don't realize that defamation, it is hard to prove, but it is legal to sue somebody for falsely accusing you of being an Israeli Mossad honeypot.
Especially if you're like a country music singer that is like down to earth. That's the most furthest thing in the world away from it. So, if you have a defamation case that can be proven, this is a pretty good one.
So, he's got the First Amendment. I get it. But she has the right to use the courts to correct his speech that might be defamatory. All right. So, it's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. Real quick, Shady Groove, let me do this one. We got a new sponsor today.
You do?
This country was built on calloused hands and unshakable grit. Sea of Mud Apparel. They make gear for the ones still out there doing the hard work, the forgotten men and women of rural America. Every piece they make is American-made, patriotic, and built to last. It's rugged, durable, and made for folks who won't quit when the job gets tough. And right now, buy one, get one free all the way through Thanksgiving. Plus, send us a photo of you wearing your Sea of Mud gear, and we'll hook you up with a 25% off site-wide discount code for your next order. So don't wait. Gear up, stand tall, and show what rural America is made of. Head to seaofmud.com right now. That's seaofmud.com. Use code RUMBLE for 15% off and take advantage of the BOGO deal before Thanksgiving. Sea of Mud Apparel, rural America's clothing company, built for the forgotten, worn by the proud.
I love BOGO.
Bogos get me in trouble at the grocery store.
Isn't it supposed to be a BOGOF?
No, buy one, get one. They drop
buy one, get one. I thought, when I was a kid, it was BOGOF, I guess.
And from
I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah. Let me just get through the swearing in because we did see the India's envoy got sworn in. Let's go directly to the questions from Donald J. Trump. Let's see. Janine Pirro speaks. Let's see who else speaks here. I love to see the questions though. They're just ridiculous.
And I mean, I love to see Janine like in the room yesterday. Like she's like moving people around. She's completely. You want to talk about central casting for her position? Janine Pirro is in central casting.
Yeah. Oh, here's the part where look at this, guys.
And I am so proud of you. And Charlie is going to be with you every single day. In spirit, and I will be praying for you every day because I know that this is just the beginning of an incredible opportunity for you. And sir, thank you for allowing Sergio to have this beautiful moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tara. And that man's watching over us right now, right? Okay.
Oh no, she hugged him funny. They're dating now, Shady.
Oh my God, dude.
You know, that's just how she hugs people. You get it now?
These people are doing this because they know how close she is to the Vances. And they know that JD is more than likely going to be the next president. And so they are really tweaking out. You know why? Because it's probably not going to be Mike Pence or Mike Flynn.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Let's go to questions.
Mr. President, do you personally approve of the deal that's happening right now on Capitol Hill to end the government
Well, it
shutdown?
depends what deal we're talking about. But if it's a deal I heard about, that's certainly, they want to change the deal a little bit. But I would say so. I think based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything. And we have support from enough Democrats. And we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
Mr. President, that deal does reverse the mass firings your administration put through during the shutdown. Did you sign off on that, and will you abide by that if this passes?
Well, I will be. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good. We're not going to be giving $1.5 trillion to people that came in from jails and from, the gangs and drug dealers and all of these others that they wanted to be given health care, which would have hurt our health care system. I hope that we're going to be able to have a health care where Lindsay and I were discussing it, Jim and I were discussing it, and Katie, we discussed it. We want a health care system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies. And I tell you, we're going to be working on that very hard over the next short period of time, where the people get the money. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars where the people get the money. Yes, please.
The Syria president, sir, could you update us on your meeting? Did you come to any agreements?
Say it?
With the leader of Syria you had earlier, did you come to any agreements today?
Well, I had an agreement with him. He's a very strong leader. He comes from a very tough place, and he's a tough guy. I liked him. I get along with him. The new president of Syria. And we'll do everything we can to make Syria successful, because that's part of the Middle East. We have peace now in the Middle East, first time that anyone can remember that ever happening. Syria is a very big part of the Middle East, very important part. If you look back at Syria for years, they had the doctors, the lawyers, they had so many of the great intellects. It's an amazing place with great people. And we want to see Syria be successful along with the rest of the Middle East. So I have confidence that he'll be able to do the job, absolutely.
How close are you to a deal on a trade deal with India? Are you willing to consider lowering the current tariff rate?
Well, right now the tariffs are very high on India because of the Russian oil, and they've stopped doing the Russian oil. It's been reduced very substantially. Yeah, we're going to be bringing the tariffs down.
What level are we talking about here?
I mean, at some point we're going to be bringing them down. Without tariffs, this country would be in such trouble, as they were for many years. That's why we owe $38 trillion. And one of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing. So we're doing a lot of good work. And the numbers were reported so incorrectly. The real numbers are trillions of dollars have been taken in or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs. And so if that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem for our country. And nobody thinks it's going to be reversed. I think we had a very good court case. As you know, it's before the Supreme Court right now. But if that were ever reversed, people are saying, oh, it's $1 billion. Some people said, oh, it's $2 billion. Well, that obviously we can handle very easily. But this is trillions of dollars we're talking about in terms of the tariff income and all the investment income that's come into our country. We have more than, I would say right now, more than $18 trillion. The biggest number ever is a tiny fraction of that for any country. China, the United States, the biggest number ever. If you look at the past administration, Biden, he did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. We're over $18 trillion. By the time my first year ends, we're going to have over $20 trillion of investment coming into the United States. It's unheard of. We have AI factories. We're leading China by a lot. We have cars and car plants coming in by more than we've ever had built before. All of that would go away if we lose the tariff case. So all of it would go away. So they're not giving the right numbers. It would be an economic disaster. It would be a national security disaster if we lost the case in the Supreme Court.
Can we back to that tariff rebate? This is an idea that you've been talking about for months. This is going to directly and positively impact millions of Americans. Why was this important for you to do, and when can Americans expect that rebate?
So I've been talking about it for a long time, the dividend to people that, you know, have suffered under the Biden administration. So Biden had the highest inflation in history, and we now are at a very low point. We're going to be hitting 1.5% pretty soon. So we're at a low point, and he was a high point. We did that. Food prices are way down. It's all coming down. And the biggest decrease, of course, is energy. And, you know, as goes energy, goes everything else. Because when energy comes down, the oil, the electric, but I think you're going to see $2 gasoline or something very close to that. In fact, we're already in the twos, but I think you're going to be seeing very soon $2 gasoline. That's like the equivalent of a massive tax cut. But in addition to that, the great big beautiful bill gives you a very, very big tax cut. And then you have no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and no tax on overtime for the middle income and for even, frankly, anybody. But you have no tax, and the no tax on tips has turned out to be a tremendous thing. But when you think no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our seniors, it's the great big beautiful bill, which has been mischaracterized. But now people they don't want to talk about it because it's so good, the enemy, because it's so good for everybody. It's the greatest piece of legislation ever passed in the history of our country in terms of size. And hence they call it the big beautiful bill, or the one big beautiful. I call it the great big beautiful bill. It's an amazing bill for the middle class. It's an amazing bill for jobs. We've never passed anything like it. And in my first administration, so we had the greatest economy. Everything was good, but we're really outdoing it this time because we have investments coming in largely because of tariffs, and I think because of November 5th, the election result. But we have investments coming in like we've never had before.
The deal Mr. President includes a vote.
Behind you, Caitlin, behind you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
On Syria, can we expect an announcement on a pact between Syria and Israel, or an announcement on them joining the anti-ISIS
coalition?
Yeah, you can
expect some announcements on Syria. We want to see Syria become a country that's very successful, and I think this leader can do it. I really do. I think this leader can do it. And people said he's had a rough past. We've all had rough pasts. But he has had a rough past. And I think, frankly, if you didn't have a rough past, you wouldn't have a chance. He gets along very well with Turkey, with President Erdogan, who's a great leader. Erdogan's a great leader and very much in favor of what's happening in Syria. We have to make Syria work. Syria is a big part of the Middle East. And I will tell you, I think it is working and really well. We're working also with Israel on getting along with Syria, getting along with everybody, and that's working amazingly. As you know, Hamas has given us back numerous bodies. It sounds pretty gruesome, but it's something the parents want more than if their son had been living. Hard to believe. I've seen all of the parents, so many of the parents, and getting back the body of their son, their dead son, is as vital to them, as important to them, as if the boy was generally the boy was alive. And as you know, over the last 4 or 5 days, we've gotten a lot of the additional bodies that they said they were going to. They've worked very hard to do that. So we have peace in the Middle East. It's a great thing, and nobody's ever seen anything quite like it.
Actually, I'm meeting with the Syrian president today, Mr.
You
President.
posted last week about your talks with Switzerland. We're reporting that you're near a deal that would lower their rate.
With Switzerland?
Yeah.
We're working on a deal to get their tariffs a little bit lower because
15% is what we're hearing.
No, I haven't said any number, but we're going to be working on something to help Switzerland along. We hit Switzerland very hard. We want Switzerland to remain successful, and we're a part of Switzerland in the sense that they've been a very good ally. We're working on them and some others, and we're working on others to increase them a little bit too.
How close is it with Switzerland?
Switzerland? What, you have something to do with Switzerland?
No, I'm just
to buy a watch. He wants to buy a watch.
He wants to buy a nice watch.
He's a cheat.
He wants to buy a nice Rolex. Right? We'll give Rolex some publicity. Because Rolex they've been very nice, you know. No, look, it's a beautiful country. It's a small country, but economically very big. So we're working on something.
After a
Caitlin?
meeting with the Syrian president earlier today, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a big ally of yours, said that she would rather see you focused on nonstop domestic policy meetings here at the White House instead of nonstop foreign policy meetings. What's your response to her saying that, and also saying that grocery prices are up and not down, as you've said?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. But I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally. I mean, we could have a world that's on fire where wars come to our shores very easily if you had a bad president. We had a horrible president, and we ended up with Russia, Ukraine, and we ended up with other disasters, too. Don't forget, I put out 8 wars, 9 to come. I think I'll get the other one taken care of. But I put out 8 wars. And look at the damage that Russia, Ukraine has done to us as a country. I mean, we spent $350 billion. We're not spending any money anymore. Now they pay us through NATO. You know, I got NATO to go from 2% to 5%. Well, that's very important. When you're president, you really sort of have to watch over the world because you're going to be dragged into it. Otherwise, you're going to be dragged into a world war. I think if I weren't president, first of all, that war would have never happened if I was president. And if I weren't president, that war could have led to World War III. It won't. It's not going to anymore. But when I first got in, I said, wow, this situation could lead to World War III. And I got NATO together. I got everybody together. But with all of that, I passed a great, big, beautiful bill, which is the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. So when somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now catering to the other side, I don't know what, I guess she's, got some kind of an act going, but I'm surprised at her. But when somebody like Marjorie goes over and starts making statements like that, it shows she doesn't know. I don't devote a lot of my time. Let me give you another example. China. China was going to hit us with rare earth. Now, everybody says, oh, what does that mean? Magnets. If China refused to give magnets, because they have a monopoly on magnets, because they were allowed to happen over a 32-year period, there wouldn't be a car made in the entire world. There wouldn't be a radio. There wouldn't be a television. There wouldn't be internet. There wouldn't be anything because magnets are such a part. Now, nobody knows what magnets are, and not overly sophisticated, but to build a magnet system would take 2 years. So if I weren't able to say to China, look, if you're going to do that to us, we're going to charge you 158% tariff. It was 100% on top of 58%. And China called up immediately and said, we will make peace. And we made peace. We made a great deal. We made an unbelievable deal. China's paying tariffs to the United States, not the United States paying tariffs to China, which has always been the way it was. Nobody can believe these deals. But so when somebody makes a statement about he's devoting time to the world, well, the world is the United States because if the world's in trouble or if the world is ripping us off, the world was ripping us off before I came here.
If America falls, the world falls.
Europe was getting massive tariffs. They were sending us 9-10 million cars a year. We were sending them none. They were not taking our agriculture. We were taking massive amounts of their. It was so unfair. Now we have a deal where $950 billion is coming into the United States because of me and because of tariffs. So if I don't do all these things, our country is doing very poorly. So, it's easy to say, oh, don't worry about the world. But the world is turning out to be our biggest customer. The world was on fire. And we could have been in that fire very easily if you didn't have a president that knew what he was doing.
Can you guarantee to Americans that travel is going to go back to normal once the government all the air travel
better than normal. You know why?
When the government reopens.
Yeah, sure. It'll be much better than normal because we're buying the most sophisticated avionics and technology for our control towers, and we didn't have that. We had a guy named Buttigieg. Edge, they say is the best way. Just say 2 edges, like off the edge of a cliff, which is where they were taking us, by the way. Edge was the Secretary of Transportation, and he spent billions of dollars trying to patch together our air traffic control system, which was a conglomeration of all different systems in all different cities. They had hundreds of companies working on it. And they were spending billions of dollars, And when they turned it on, it didn't work. It didn't even work a little bit. That's why you had a helicopter crashing into an airplane, that if we had a great system, bells and whistles would have started going off. So we are now in the process. We're in final bids of getting the finest system anywhere in the world. I've analyzed it. Sean Duffy has been working really hard on it, doing a fantastic job, by the way. And over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be handing out the finest air traffic control system anywhere in the world. All the towers will be equipped. They were going copper wire into glass wire into other types of wire. And if you do anything, you know copper wire doesn't work with glass. You know glass doesn't work with other substances. And they spent billions of dollars, and when they turned it on, nothing happened. Okay? We're getting the most sophisticated, all brand new. Every control tower will have the same exact system. It'll be the most sophisticated system by far in the world. And what we've done is we've looked around other countries and we've taken the absolute best systems in every different form, because there are different, you have lots of different companies like IBM and Raytheon and a lot of great companies. They're all bidding, and we're going to pick the best one, and it'll get built relatively quickly. And we are going to have the greatest air traffic control system anywhere in the world. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. President Donald J. Trump, everybody.
Thank you. Let's go.
Get the heck out of here.
Out of here. Like the boot edge, man. It's like boot edge, like right over the edge.
Right over the edge.
We do not deserve him.
I love it. And, you know, it was interesting, too, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Wow.
Yep.
I went over to Open Secrets really quick, guys. You know, somebody said, hey, we need to look into her funding. This is her right here for the 2024 election cycle. Oversight government reform. She's on these Homeland Security. She's on these oversight committees. Raised $7.9 million, spent $9 million. Cash on hand, $855,000. That's zero. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, House Freedom Fund, JZK Inc. Interesting, Shady. Manus Farms, huh?
I was just getting ready to say that it's interesting because of her. What's actually the most interesting with her is how her wealth has grown.
Yeah.
You know, her like personal wealth.
Yeah.
Since she became a congressman.
Large individual contributions, 3.06 million, guys. Small individual contributions, 5.7 million.
She represents the district that my mom lived in, and they are not. They do not like Marjorie Taylor Greene there.
No,
they don't. Like, they really don't. Like, the local people think that she is a self-serving idiot.
Wow.
But they've thought that for a while. Even whenever she was pro-Trump, they already didn't like her.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff, guys.
It just kind of makes me curious how she, it's like we see Democrats consistently win elections. We see that they have some help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe getting some help.
Well, and then taking a stand on a certain way. That's just kind of how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, but everything that we're seeing with this whole group of Tucker and Candace and all these people, like literally just taking their horde right off the edge.
Boot. Boot at edge. Wow. All right, so that's where we're at. We're going to go over Donald Trump's interview as well, guys, with Laura Ingraham. Apparently, Midas Touch and all the Democrats are like, Trump had a meltdown. I didn't know if I saw a meltdown, but we're going to go watch it together to see what kind of meltdown they're talking about, Shady. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
I mean, the meltdown, I saw it. I did not see a meltdown, but what I did see was some direct things that were said that some people were frustrated with, but also everybody wants to mischaracterize everything, and no one can realize what's being said. They just take it out of context and light their hair on fire.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, is really simple, guys. The Democrats stopped the SNAP benefits by not reopening the government like they did before. Okay, the Democrats did all this.
And it just came out. I was seeing the news right now that's happening is Schumer went to him 14 days in. These guys were going to break, and Schumer's like, if you break, they'll be paying for you. So this is going to lie on Schumer's shoulders.
Yeah. I mean, and then they're going to all usher in the Communist Party. That's what they're doing.
They're going to have a tough time winning Democrat House seats next year. I promise you.
Yeah, I mean, and 2026 is still a long way away, and there's going to be a lot happening, guys. I mean, we've got the Clinton Foundation is being looked into again, Shady Group. There's 21 Q posts about the Clinton Foundation. Imagine that.
Not to mention the Clinton Foundation's connection to all of this dark money.
Yeah. DJ Bay said, I'm sad to admit that MTG can do more pull-ups than I can. That's a good observation.
Probably true.
It's probably very true. But we will be right back. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Get some popcorn. Get your kefefe. Take it away, Yeti.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queens $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
My Pillow is excited to announce they're having their biggest 3-in-1 sale ever, with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closed-out deal you won't find anywhere else. My Pillow bed sheets, only $29.88, any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. My Towels are finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first and only time, get their limited edition premium My Pillows made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queens, $17.98. Kings, only $19.98. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you will receive free shipping plus $100 in free digital gifts. So go to mypillow.com or call 800-873-0478 and use promo code MGSHOW. Use your promo code for the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
They came in the night with the shadow band blade, silenced the truth that the people had made. Media matters drew the target on our chest, but the MG show never failed the test. YouTube bowed low to the activist call, flagged every clip, tried to bury us all. But the receipts don't lie and the data don't bend. They admitted the crime, now the fight won't end. We rose from the ashes, the channel's alive. Every strike they threw only taught us to thrive. Turn the volume to 11, let the whole world know the MG show's back, and we're ready to go. Wrongfully censored but never defeated. Media matters, your lies got deleted. Hit that red button, ring the bell loud. Subscribe to the MG show, stand tall and proud. We're the voice they can't mute, the fire they can't douse. Truth on the mic in the people's house. Wrongfully censored, now the truth's uncaged. Subscribe right now, turn the whole damn page. From the live stream wars to the common crusade, every patriot viewer kept the barricade. They called us the fringe, tried to label us fake, but the algorithm cracked under the weight. YouTube sent a letter, we got it all wrong. 3 little words took way too damn long. So load up the chat, let the memes ignite. The MG shows the spark in the dead of the night. Where the glitch in the code, the crack in the wall, every band just echoed a louder call. Drop a super chat, let the freedom bells ring. The people are the power, let the chorus sing. Wrongfully censored but never defeated. Media matters, your lies got deleted. Hit that red button, ring the bell loud. Subscribe to the MG show, stand tall and proud. We're the voice they can't mute, the fire they can't douse. Truth on the mic in the people's house. Wrongfully censored, now the truth's uncaged. Subscribe right now, turn the whole damn page. No more shadow, no more chains. Every click is a bullet in the censorship game. From the heartland to the coast, we're breaking the spell. 1 million subs and we're giving them hell. Wrongfully censored, hey, hey, never defeated. Hey, hey, media matters. Hey, hey, subscribe right now. Wrongfully censored but never defeated. The MG shows the spark that people needed. Hit that red button, let the whole world see. Truth ain't a crime and the truth ain't free.
Oh, wrongfully censored. The only person that can mute us is Yeti. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I was just playing. You weren't seeing me.
Well, I don't pay attention because
I noticed you
all
weren't
the
paying
show
attention.
stuff here.
I know. Well, I was animated and I was pretending like I was muted by Yeti so that it would like fulfill your little prophecy that you were doing there. But no, nobody's paying attention.
I didn't see it because I'm over here doing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, sir.
Yeah. Go over to Suno.com. Follow me over there, guys. Get your own Suno account. Make your own Patriot music. I think there's a lot of great people doing some great music over there. Mikey Mariano, for one, and others, Shady.
Many others, and it's what a cool thing. Like again,
it's like needed. It's needed because of the censorship crap.
Exactly. It's like we can have music and work around the censorship, guys. I mean, it is like a bit of a challenge here. They're supposed to give us 30 seconds of anything, but it doesn't work like that.
No, it's like right away.
But at least they've now told us that they can take the music away from the vocal.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there's new tools so we can be, what do you call it? Compliant.
Well, think about what you could do with like the parody songs. You know, it's like to take the parody songs and it's like singing a song that's on top of another song. You take out the music, it would be like, what the hell?
All right, let's go to this, Shady Grove. This is attempted coup. The attempted coup. Treason opens the public door for more serious The pill must be easy to swallow. The lead-in. The public must be prepared for what is about to come. The Clinton Foundation. Plus, 17 pluses, guys. And look at this. Clinton corruption files. Bondi Patel unleashed new evidence about the former First Family Foundation. And there's 21 posts with this Shady Grove with the Clinton Foundation.
21 posts with it all spelled out.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So, guys, who is probably protecting the Clinton Foundation? Everybody that's going against, all these other people, like, blah, blah, blah. Let's not say names. Yeah, well, we're trying not to say names on YouTube. We're trying to break it slowly.
Oh, break it slowly. Okay, so
Remember,
how about...
you're saying, well, maybe we shouldn't bring up the 3-star in general guy.
Okay, well, we could not do that.
Because he's irrelevant. He's not in Trump's administration. If he was relevant, we'd talk about him. How about that?
He's out there walking down the street by himself is what I saw.
Yeah, I saw that too. But look, guys, man, this is what we've got. Look at this. The Clinton Foundation, okay? I mean, look at this. Look at that, Shady Grove. To all those who doubted Sessions of humor, you will pay a price very soon. Q. Now, remember, a lot of this stuff did not happen in the first administration because it was taken over, guys. It was usurped with deep state cronies put around in Donald Trump's cabinet, all brought to you by Reince Priebus, Mike Pence, and Chris Krispy Kreme Donut Crispy.
So let me paint a little bit of a picture around what you're saying, because it's very significant what you're saying about the guilt. So essentially what you're saying is all of the people that were around Donald Trump that had been selected for him, that were in his administration, were literally acting in cooperation with the stuff that was going on with the Steele dossier in the Clinton Foundation. So if you were to have actually went after those people, they are effectively part of your damn administration. So you're stuck with them like glue on the bottom of your shoe. So the way that we got rid of them or got away from them, they keep saying that Donald Trump is going to be the forever president. No, we did the perfect thing.
Yeah.
They thought that he was going to fight them. They didn't really think that they were going to have to put Joe Biden in there and perform as Joe Biden being the president. And Donald Trump, guess what he did? He got on the helicopter and he went back to Florida.
Leelegs, we're going to break it to you gently, okay? Because here's how people did not read Q, okay? And the Q drops were possibly usurped by bad people. This is yesterday, Shady Grove. These are the deltas from yesterday. I want to specifically focus on 2468, Shady Grove. 2468, who do you appreciate? Huh?
2468, who do we appreciate?
The Scaramucci play. Temp hire to remove embedded, untrustworthy staffers. Like Spicer, Priebus. Temps can be very dangerous to those who are targeted. Think Whitaker. Next week, White House optics must remain stable. Many, and here's an article, we're going to go to that in a second. Many did not leave by choice. Save face and promote MAGA or be exposed. Less than 10. Attacks occur from all directions. Logical thinking. Why attack a movement simply by design, asking people to think for themselves? Control equals power. Why are the biggest news corporations in the world continuing to attack this movement? Why is the Washington Post leading the attacks? Why do the attacks come in waves? Coordinated. You attack those who are the biggest threat. Swamp contains red and blue. Capiche? Here. So this is temps can be very dangerous. White House optics must remain stable. The Scaramucci play. Temp hire to remove embedded, untrustworthy staffers. Who could those be? Q's telling you who they are right here. Let's go watch. Look. Let's go look, Shady. What do you think?
Let's go look.
Let's go look. And we're just going to look at this, neutrally, guys, because this is a list of the officials who have left the Trump administration. Let's see, David Shulkin, and we've done this, we've reassessed Q and the narratives that have been, falsely promulgated. Ow. That hurt, Shady. Falsely promulgated on the Q movement. Okay. Let's see who else is here. H.R. McMaster. Okay, we got that. Let's see. Rex Tillerson. Yep, I can believe that. Let's see. Who else here? Why am I being frozen? Rex Tillerson. Okay. Jeez. John McEntee. Okay. He's the guy that eats the food, isn't it? Isn't that the guy that eats the food? Okay. On TikTok, Gary Cohen. Okay.
I don't know. Is it? I don't know what you're saying there.
Hope Hicks. Wow. She was removed. Mm-hmm.
She was a real piece of work.
Rob Porter. And then we got Omarosa Magnol Newman. You're fired. All right. Dina Powell. Okay, Dina. See you later. Out like a lint. Tom Price. Let's see who else. Oh, Sebastian Gorka, but he's actually back in the administration. So kudos to Sebastian.
One of the few.
Yeah. Steve Bannon.
Nowhere close to the administration.
Wow.
He was one of the ones that was bringing in all of the flies.
Wow. Okay. Anthony Scaramucci, right? Let's see who else. Reince Priebus. Okay. Reince Priebus. Who else? Sean Spicer. Mm-hmm. So we got those. Priebus and Spicer. You saw those in the Q post. Who else? Mike Dubke. James Comey. We know about that guy. Mike Flynn. No, stop it.
There he is.
Wow.
Didn't make it.
Sally Q. Yates. Who else? And then all these other people: Goldstein, Katie Walsh, Preet Bharara, Ezra Cohen, Watnick. Though very interesting. And a lot of these people, except for one, Shady, I think is back in the administration.
That is true.
So is that a good way to kind of break it to you softly?
Yeah, so softly. We're going to be gentle. Jeff said I had to be easy. That don't bring your normal punch you in the throat type shady commentary.
Yep. All right, so let's go to this because I wanted to cover this today because I didn't get a chance to see it, but apparently everybody's all upset about this interview, Shady Groove. However, I want to just. Oh my God, guys! These people are insane.
Well, they're upset about everything. I mean, I think that's what you're. I think that this audience realizes what you're looking at. What you're looking at is faux outrage. Okay, the psyop is fake outrage. I coined this term years and years ago. Faux outrage tells you everything you need to know. The virtue signal is buried in the faux outrage, and the gaslighting will be buried in the faux outrage. People can be animated, and people can have righteous indignation. We like to have our heaping helping of righteous indignation right here, but it's not really righteous indignation if it's made up, if it's pretend, if it's based on things that are known to be false. What we're talking about with a lot of these posts that in the past, they said the word knowingly, okay? Knowingly, these people knowingly say these things and with the understanding that they aren't true, but they're saying them anyway with faux outrage so that they can generate maniacs lighting their hair on fire.
So the Angle sits down with President Trump. This is going to be good, Shady Grove. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready for Ingraham.
Ingraham? Isn't that
Ingraham
where the debt clock is? The Ingraham?
I think so.
For the show for an exclusive interview at the White House. So we talked about, the shutdown, everything from Gavin Newsom to Brandon Johnson, what was happening on the East Wing and what Melania thought about it. But we started, of course, with the Schumer shutdown. Sir, what lessons do you think the Democrats should learn from this shutdown saga?
Well, the country loses a lot of money when they do this, and they're not getting much, but nobody gets a lot. But it's terrible. What they really wanted was $1.5 trillion for people that came in illegally, people that came in through and out of prisons. We had like Venezuela, they dumped their prisons.
They said that was all exaggerated by you.
Yeah, I know it's exaggerated. They wanted $1.5 trillion for healthcare from people that were, in some cases, 11,888 exactly murderers, many of whom murdered more than one person. So they came into our country, they poured into our country, and they want to take care of. We're trying to get them out because we don't want 11,000 murderers in our country. You don't want it. Nobody wants it. And we have drug dealers and we have everything else that they want to make sure they get good health care. That's not what our country's about. And it would have hurt other people's health care.
On Obamacare, you raised several times during this shutdown debate that it's clear that this was never going to work without these massive subsidies. Now they wanted to continue the COVID subsidies. So given the fact that Obamacare really can't survive as they thought without these subsidies, what next?
Well, I watched Obama from when this thing came about. As you know, I opposed it very strongly. Unfortunately, we had a couple of negative votes, which should never have happened. But I said it's going to be a disaster, and I was exactly right. The premiums have gone up like rocket ships, and I'm not just talking about recently. I'm talking about for years they've been going up. And he said, premiums will go down. Everything will be wonderful. It's horrible health insurance at a very high price. And what I want, and probably what you're alluding to, is the fact that I want, instead of going to the insurance companies, I want the money to go into an account for people where the people buy their own health insurance. It's so good. The insurance will be better. It'll cost less. Everybody's going to be happy. They're going to feel like entrepreneurs. They're actually able to go out and negotiate their own health insurance. And they can use it only for that reason. That's the beauty, only for that purpose. And if we did that, that would be so exciting. Call it Trump care, call it whatever you want to call it, but anything but Obamacare. Obamacare is a disaster, just like he was as a president.
How do Republicans avoid this shutdown saga from reoccurring on January 30th when this deal ends?
Well, we're trying to put in a bill, as you know, the bill or a bill, that you can never do that again. You can't just shut down the government because you're trying to renegotiate a deal that you didn't. Don't forget, when we passed the great big beautiful bill, which gives you tremendous middle income tax benefits and it gives so much to everybody. Think of it. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and no tax, very importantly, on overtime. If you work overtime, you don't have to pay tax. So many other things. It gives you a deduction if you buy a car, you borrow money, you put a loan on a car. You're allowed to deduct the interest. That's never happened in our country before. That's always been for the richer people. They're allowed to take deductions. Now you can deduct interest on a car. So we have tremendous goodies in there. They like to try and disparage it. Oh, it's the greatest bill ever passed in the history of our country. That's why we did it all in one. It's 4 years worth of goodies, and it's largely for jobs and for the middle class and for security.
But the Democrats clearly wanted to renegotiate this and hold the country hostage, did it not?
They didn't get what they wanted in the great big beautiful bill. And so what they tried to do is renegotiate it at a time where they hold the country hostage.
One of the big problems for the country I encountered on Saturday coming back from Florida to D.C. with the airports. So hours delayed, thousands of flight cancellations that are continuing this week.
Yeah.
You put out a Truth Social post earlier today.
I did.
Where you blasted the air traffic controllers who had not shown up for work and offered potentially a bonus of $10,000 for those who have worked despite the shutdown. Are you worried that given the fact that we have a deficit of air traffic controllers still, I know we're trying to change that might be a difficult
No, we don't
position?
have much of a deficit, and we have a lot of people want the job. But I was not happy when I saw all these people. We have to look. Life is not so easy for anybody. Our country's never done better. We should not have had people leaving their jobs. And what I basically did is say the ones that stayed, of which there were a lot of them, I'm sending them a $10,000 bonus.
Where's that money coming from?
I don't know. I'll get it from someplace. I always get the money from someplace regardless. It doesn't matter. I do a lot of bonuses for people because it's really something that it's like the American way when you think about it. So here's somebody that goes and shows up every single day. Some of them showed up early because they knew there was going to be a problem. Those people should be rewarded. Others, we can't make it. We can't. A lot of the people that showed up also had a second job. They took a second job temporarily. But they all know the money's coming, and the money was coming. So I want to reward the people that showed up without a lot of nonsense, without a lot of talk. They did their job. And in many cases, they worked longer hours to get us through this period.
When can we expect the flights to resume more or less on better schedules?
Well, I've heard a lot of people say, in fact, on your show 2 nights ago, somebody said, I just took a plane. I got better service than I got in the past. Now, maybe because a little bit fewer people are traveling.
There are a lot of delays now, sir.
But a lot of people, are getting through. I think the people are going to start showing up. I was very strong on that truth. I said, now you get to work.
Did you remember the air traffic control firing of Reagan in 1983,
Yeah,
I believe it was?
One of the highlights of his life. You want to know the truth? He fired them because they didn't show up to work, and he never let them come back.
Mm-hmm. The economy was listed as a top concern. I know you know this for voters in New Jersey, New York, Virginia. I know you've been all over the affordability issue today and for the last several months. Eggs, gas, dinner costs for Thanksgiving way down. But other things, as you noted, have gone up. Beef, coffee,
they're going to come
auto
down very
repairs.
shortly.
Is this a voter perception issue of the economy, or is there more that needs to be done by Republicans on Capitol Hill, or done in terms of policy?
More than anything else, it's a con job by the Democrats. they're saying. They just have to say, they put out something, say today costs are up. They feed it to the anchors of ABC, CBS, and NBC, and a lot of other, and CNN, and et cetera. And it's like a standard. I'll never forget they had used a word like manufactured. Do you remember the word manufactured? It's a manufactured economy. Nobody uses that word. Every anchor broke the manufactured. They do exactly what they say. It's such a rigged system. So are you ready? Costs are way down. Gasoline is going to be hitting $2 pretty soon, or around $2. Gasoline is at $2.70 now, and it was at $4.50 under Biden, under Sleepy Joe. When gasoline comes down, when energy comes down, and everybody agrees energy's down, we're drill baby drill. We're going like wild. We produce more gasoline, oil and gas in the last month than we ever have before, by far. And we're going to also end up filling up the national strategic reserves, which were taken out by Biden in order to try and win an election. Didn't work out too well. They tapped in. That's supposed to be for war, for national emergency, not to get.
So are you saying that voters are misperceiving how they feel, or?
So when I took over, you remember?
Because you said Biden did that too, because he was saying things were great, but things weren't great.
It's synonymous, Biden and Kamala, because you didn't know who the hell was campaigning. I mean, it got to a point. So I was up by 20 points on Biden or some crazy number. And they said, all right, let's get him out. We'll put a new one. This never happened to anybody. All of a sudden, I have somebody new. And they had the 6-week honeymoon, which was standard in the world of politics. You get a little honeymoon. And she had her little honeymoon, but then eventually people got to know her too. And then they had the 60 Minutes catastrophe where they, changed her answer.
Housing costs are still out of reach. And another thing that your administration is trying to tackle, many Americans, the average age of first-time home buyers are now up to age 40, which is sad. The country you and I grew up in.
I inherited that. Look, you have to understand.
Right, but let me get to the question, though, because your housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So a significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is 50, you pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor. It might help a little bit. But the problem was that Biden did this. He increased the interest rates. And I have a lousy Fed person who's going to be gone in a few months, fortunately. I have a guy too late, Jerome Powell.
Too late
and everything, except when it came to before the, the so-called Democrat election, which didn't work. But we're going to get interest rates down. But even with interest rates up, the economy is the strongest it's ever been. You asked me, just to go back to the beginning of your question, you talked about prices. We're down on energy. We're down on interest rate. Interest rates are down despite the Fed. Now, if we had a normal person at the Fed would have really low interest rates, and we will soon have that. We'll have somebody that's.
And why are people saying they're anxious about the economy? Why are they saying that?
I don't know that they are saying. I think polls are fake. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We will have over $20 trillion come into our economy, and it's largely because of my election, but it's also largely because of tariffs. Even the tariff thing, it's such a disgrace. I'm watching them saying, well, no money would have to be paid back because it's not that much. It's trillions and trillions of dollars would have to be paid back.
If the Supreme Court rules against the tariffs.
It would be a disaster for our country. Now, will I do something? I'll figure something out because I do. That's what I do in life. I figure things out. But it's so, President Xi was willing to do the rare earth thing, that's magnets. Now, nobody knows what a magnet is. If you don't have a magnet, you don't make a car. You don't make a computer. You don't make televisions and radios and all the other things. You don't make anything. It's a 30-year effort to monopolize a very important thing. Now, within 2 years, we'll have magnets, all the magnets we want, but we don't. Because of tariffs, I called. I said, listen, here's the story. You're going to play the magnet. I'm going to play the tariff on you. And for national security purposes, I raised the tariff by 100% over and above what they were paying, which was 55. So he was at 155%. Within 10 minutes, I got a call. We'd like to meet. And we settled it out. And we made a wonderful deal, great deal for our country. But we made a great deal. We would have had a closed country, we would have had a depression. The whole world would have had a
Doesn't
depression.
it show us that we're too dependent on China? It's not just on rare earths, sir. We're dependent on them for still pharmaceuticals, still key industrial components. The Journal did a huge piece, and they're fairly pro-China, but but a very
it's all coming
extensive
back,
piece.
Laura, because of tariffs. I'm charging them tariffs of 100% and 150% for pharmaceuticals. What's happening? The pharmaceutical companies are all back here building plants right now. That's part of the $20 trillion of money that's come in because of tariffs. And we're not dependent on China. We're dependent on having a smart president. If we have a smart president, we're going to have no trouble. If we have a guy like we had last time, who was such an embarrassment, if we have stupid presidents, whether you have tariffs or don't have tariffs, it doesn't matter. If we didn't have tariffs, if I didn't have the power of the tariffs, right now we would have a country that wouldn't be making cars, wouldn't be making anything.
A new detailed report on CNN, of all places, documents China's expansion of 60% of its missile facilities. It's staggering, bigger than anyone had ever thought, more robust growth. And over the weekend, the new Japanese prime minister, who I know you like a lot, Kaiichi, called the Taiwan situation extremely severe in its phase, and that they may consider any move on Taiwan by China to be a national survival crisis for Japan. Now, that gets better, a Chinese diplomat today said in a social media post that she, the Prime Minister of Japan, should be beheaded for her comments. These are not our friends, sir, are they, in China?
Well, a lot of our allies aren't our friends either, Laura. Our allies took advantage of us on trade more than China did. And China took big advantage. I mean, we built, because
we built their military.
We built their military. We built their whole thing. The whole thing was, and by the way, if you remember, in my first term, I took in hundreds of billions of tariffs. I put tariffs on China very early. Then when we got hit with COVID, we fought that. We did a very good job, but that was COVID. It came from a certain place in China.
Right.
You remember?
Another great gift from China.
That was another little gift we got. But look, I get along great with President Xi. I get along great with China. But the only way you're going to get along well with China is you have to deal from a position of strength. We have tremendous strength because of tariffs. We have tremendous strength because of what I've done. I've rebuilt our military, and they have a lot of missiles, but we have a lot of missiles too. And they don't want to mess around with us, I can tell you that.
A lot of MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
You would have the
of the
historically,
United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What do you think the French?
Right. So this is where all the podcasters are freaking out. This part, Lance, thank you so much for that. Just pointing it out. So, what you're hearing is President Trump being very fair, okay? It's called the art of a deal, right? You've got to deal with these people. They are here. Can we make them better? That's what he's trying to do. But this is where the podcasters are all freaking out, like Midas touch or whatever they're called.
Yeah, but it's really interesting what they end up picking on and what they pick apart and what they skip over to do so.
Yeah,
because, did you notice what she just said? She used the French as an example. Didn't you think that was funny?
Yeah.
Oh, the French are so good. Well, the last time I checked, where was that Pessoa name?
It's France of Queen Marie Antoinette. Shady.
The ones that manipulated the American people into a central banking system and systematically developed every single business you could imagine, from banking to mining to whatever, and then put it in a monopoly, called it the Federal Reserve, and spent 100 years stealing every single thing that we had, and then what was left selling to China. So it seems to me like the French may be involved a little deeper than the Chinese.
But Laura knows all, doesn't she?
It's an Ingraham.
My Ingraham hurts. All right, here we go. Let's check this out.
Yeah. Really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
And coming.
Yeah, so we did. He said, she basically said the French. So we've got it. So that's it. That's part one. We got part two coming up right now. You ready, Shady, or you want to say anything?
So ready.
I mean, she's being kind of nasty, isn't she?
She's always nasty. And if you notice that, the interesting thing is, guys, that this is what you're going to notice. Look at the creep in. All of these people, like the Hannitys of the world. Like Sean Hannity is bringing on the Stephen Smith guy. He had that guy on yesterday. This is a dude that's like saying some of the most heinous stuff about, like, not only Charlie Kirk and stuff, but about Donald Trump and all this stuff. Like, he has no idea, like, saying these things that are completely untrue. And Hannity is platforming this guy because he thinks he's going to, like, get some sort of Hannity and Combs back and forth thing like the Glory days or something.
Glory? All right, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's go.
I didn't say anything.
Interview part 2.
Yes, sir. Or we get in trouble.
Gavin Newsom had a message, sir, for his fellow Democrats after this shutdown deal.
Sounds like some of my colleagues and friends in the United States Senate, some of my Democratic colleagues, just decided that we're playing by the old set of rules, not the new set of rules, and may have rolled over a little bit. Right now, we've got to hold the line because I think America will become unrecognizable in a year or two unless we fight back.
He wants to fight harder, and he thinks the Democrats aren't fighting hard enough against you and, of course, the Republicans. Gavin Newsom.
I mean, I knew Gavin for 4 years. I got along great with him, but he's gone radical left. And, he's building a train system from San Francisco to LA that's got about a 2,000 or 3,000% cost overrun. It's the worst thing I've never seen anything like it. I've seen cost overruns. I've never seen anything like that. If you take a look at what he's done, so they lost 25,000 houses. Do you know they haven't issued one building permit yet? So these people are trying to rebuild the houses. But he did something. He did something even worse than that. He's now taking a big section of Palisades or some area, and he's going to build low-income housing where they used to have luxury housing. He's going to put low-income housing in. His fire stuff is out of control. The forests are burning down all over the place. And honestly, I always liked him, but he's a horrible governor. He's a horrible governor. If he ran the country like that, we would have an absolutely gonzo country. This country would be gone. The fact is, if I weren't president, if Kamala got in, you wouldn't have, not only wouldn't you have $20 trillion coming in, you would have money leaving, and your welfare system. Take a look at some of the welfare things that we're talking about. They've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled since I left office.
SNAP benefits have
well, SNAP has gone from like 7 billion to many times 7 billion. And, people keep talking about SNAP. But SNAP is supposed to be, if you're down and out, you really, really have. That's what the purpose of it. People are getting, they walk in and they get it automatically now. So the number is many times what it should be. It's disgraceful.
Can we change
You wouldn't have been able, I'll tell you what, this country would have been busted, 100% busted within 5 months into a new administration. I didn't win.
Can we reform SNAP
Yeah,
and these benefits so they're used for the people who really need them?
It's meant for people. And you know what it does is it really puts the country at jeopardy. People that need it have to get it. I'm all for it. But people that are able-bodied can do a job. They leave their job because they figure they can pick this up. It's easier. That's not the purpose of it.
So knives are out, it looks like, for Chuck Schumer. Ro Khanna is already calling for him to be replaced. What message do you have for Schumer tonight?
Well, I think he made a mistake in going too far.
Going too far, or how?
Well, he just went too far. He thought he could break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or are they just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible. I look at this Crockett. This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy. I feel badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. I knew him when he was a person who loved Israel, and now he's a Palestinian. He's become a Palestinian. And it's amazing. I've never seen a politician change so much. Also, he doesn't have, he was a pretty talented guy. He's lost his talent.
Chicago Mayor, your dear friend Brandon Johnson, is calling on the United Nations to investigate what he calls the
real quick, Shady. I see some people saying about what's this guy's name? Gavin Newsom looks like, Shady. You know what he looks like to me? You guys ever see that movie American Psycho? Have you seen that movie, Shady?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's who he reminds me of.
He completely reminds me of that guy. Like he had a picture up the other day that looked like he was the Joker without makeup. I mean, the guy is a complete maniacal evil entity, whatever it is.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to get it here. Here we go. I gotta like to see it. Here it is. Here it comes. Whoop. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, it opened on the other screen. Hang on one second, guys.
Oh, try the other screen.
I tell you. So this is what Gavin Newsom looks like to me. American Psycho.
Completely.
I mean, that's hilarious. And that's hilarious because it's a Chan meme as well with that guy. So now we literally have the American Psycho as California's governor. All right.
Yeah, but interesting too. Did he say the quiet part out loud in that little clip? Because he said, and I wrote it down. It was like it seems like that they're not playing by the new set of rules.
Yeah.
But would the Constitution be considered a new set of rules or an old set of rules? Because in my opinion, the Constitution would be the old set of rules. And the communists have come in and implemented a bunch of new set of rules that nobody can even understand. I mean, these people don't even know what a woman is. And then now they're all mad because we don't understand the new set of rules. And we're going back to the Constitution, but they act like they're somehow defending the Constitution while he's saying to you that we're defending the new set of rules.
Yeah. Keck Production says, greetings from D.C. Signed up to go inside the National Archives. Let's see what happens. Get some pictures of the Pacer stuff.
He's not supposed to take pictures in there, Jeff.
That's how he got thrown out anyways.
Yeah, he's supposed to do it with his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the mind of Keck Productions, and then we are not looking good.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
We are in trouble.
We are definitely in trouble. And now I got this acting up.
Oh, see, now we can't get back to the Ingraham. Because you switched the screens, man. I told you never cross the streams.
Yeah. That's not what happened, but you're good.
Now it is glitching.
I was backing it up, and now it's all like, screwed up. Yeah. Control Alt what, Yeti? There it is. I got it. All right. I got it out. Okay. All right. So let's finish up part. Maybe I got to look at, I'm like, my computer's all messed up right now, Shady Grove.
Everything is freezing.
Yeah. Look at it. I'm like, whoa.
I can't tell what's going on.
I can't tell what's going on either.
So I got problems over here with my connection or something.
I think it's
all right. So Shady, what do you want to talk about?
It may be normalizing. I'm hoping that this is normalizing. It looks like it's getting better. I think that you just had I think the cold weather iguana might have fallen on your router.
It could have.
It could definitely be affecting it, but as it gets colder, it's going to perform more slowly. Well, I mean, I could just start yelling about anything. I'm so animated right now about all the great stuff that I'm seeing happening and all of the imbeciles that I'm seeing come into the conversation that are trying to somehow besmirch it. Yeah. I'm so tired of it. These people could look at anything. These people could look at a 10 knocked out, drop dead, gorgeous female and somehow try to convince you that she's a golem or a troll under a bridge somewhere. I mean, they completely have this inverted reality that I'm having a hard time understanding. And I'm seeing that a lot of other people are realizing that, trying to understand it has become impossible.
Yeah, could be Cloudflare. Could be, DJ. I'm not sure. But here we go. I got it back. We're going to go back to part 3. This is the final part of Trump's interview with Laura Ingraham.
Boom.
Back
She's
now
going to get
more
ornery.
Exclusive sit-down with President Trump. He reacted to all the attacks on the ballroom construction. I also asked him a very important question about his faith. Michelle Obama had something to say about the ballroom and the new ballroom. During an event to promote her new book, she said...
Yeah, she was talking about ballroom. I saw a clip of her talking about her, it's okay to wear pantyhose.
I was getting ready to say that you could just put on some shorts.
Ballroom.
There's plenty of ballroom.
Yeah.
When we talk about the East Wing, it's the heart of the work. And to denigrate it, to tear it down, to pretend like it doesn't matter, it's a reflection of how you think of that role. Why is she wrong?
Well, first of all, the East Wing was a beautiful little tiny structure that was built many years ago that was renovated and expanded and disbanded and columns ripped out. And it had nothing to do with the original building. It was a poor, sad sight. And I could have built the ballroom around it, but it would not have been. We're building one of the greatest ballrooms in the world. By the way, zero money spent by the government, zero. The East Wing is being spent by private donors. And it's a $250, $300 million building. It's going to be the most beautiful anywhere in the world. It'll be a large, beautiful, they had an event the other day. They could hold, with tables, they could hold 79 people. Now, if you have President Xi from China, or if you have some big state event, we have no place to have it.
Not just regular people. Just regular people invite in.
Obama wouldn't mind this. Mrs. Obama obviously wouldn't mind. They would put a tent on the lawn. It was a low section because that's the only section you have. So it was a low section. If it rained, you were sitting in 6 inches of water. It was a disaster. We're going to have the best ballroom anywhere in the world. And I built a lot of them. You know that. You know a lot of them. This will be one of the greatest ballrooms in the world.
There was a report that Melania didn't love this idea. Is that
oh my God.
She loved her little tiny office. But you know what? She's very smart. In about one day, if you would ask her now, she says it's great. But just so you understand, the East Wing sounds good, right? It sounds good. But the East Wing, that building was renovated 20 times, including adding a floor to the top, which was terrible. It was out of common brick, little tiny windows. It looked like hell. It had nothing to do with the original building. And I didn't want to sacrifice a great ballroom for an okay ballroom by leaving it right smack in the middle.
In October, you were asked about ending wars, and you talked about that, and you said, I don't think there's anything that's going to get me into heaven. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound.
Here we go.
A lot of Christians were sort of sad to hear that because Christ came to forgive our sins, if you believe that as Christians, and they open heaven to all of us. So don't you believe that?
Thanks for explaining.
So the other day, the New York Times did a story and took that statement totally literally. When I made that statement, I was being funny, sarcastic. It's bad for a politician to be sarcastic. I said, I'm never going to make it to heaven. A big old hands. I don't think I can make it. I don't think I qualify, etc. I was kidding. I was having fun. I don't know if I will or not. I don't know. But the Times did a story, a little guy named Peter Baker, who is the sycophant to Obama. He wrote the Obama book, like Obama was a good president. He was one of the worst. Biden was the worst. Obama was top 3 or 4. But think of this. I make this statement, and the Times has a front page, Donald Trump is now questioning his life and his this and his that. I said to a group of people, a large group, I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm not so sure, but I'm going to fight to me, et cetera, et cetera. I was having fun, and they made it like serious. The thing I thought I learned, but I forgot about it, I guess, when I made this little, is you can't be sarcastic as a politician or have fun. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it.
All right, coming up, our panel reaction.
Wow.
This,
I don't care about your panel. I don't care about that stupid ass question. God bless you, President Trump, and you will be going to heaven.
Oh, wow. You're very blurry. Yeah, very blurry.
So can we continue?
Yes, we can.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say that
I'm going to put my glasses on in the meantime, okay, guys?
You do that for sure.
There, how's that?
No better. That's exactly the same, sir.
There we go.
Oh, look at you. Oh, yeah. But did you see her? She's taking it seriously. She's like pretending. Like, listen, man, I just don't understand how people like these people just don't understand humor. It has to be like they sit down in front of a stand-up comic and it just goes right over their head. Like I'm telling you, like all these media people, like, do you not understand what the man is saying? I understood what he meant in real time. Did you honestly think that Donald Trump thought that he wasn't going to get to heaven? Yeah. I mean, this is so ridiculous, man. I'm sorry.
You just, I'm just going to, so let me just, Rush, you said the East Wing was one of the pentagram points. No, it wasn't. It doesn't affect the layout of Washington, D.C. I saw that too. And then I'm like, how does that? It didn't, because it's the streets. And
it was the street. Yeah.
Not the East Wing.
And the streets were laid out before the building was built.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it does not do anything with that, Rush. I saw that too, though, just to let you know.
One thing it was the bunker. The East Wing was over the only reason the East Wing of the White House was built was because what's his nut wanted a bunker under there. I think was it Roosevelt? I think it was Roosevelt. Wanted a bunker. So to have a bunker, you can't just have a bunker. You got to have a building on top of the bunker so that the bunker doesn't get inundated with water there in DC. And so the East Wing was built on top of it. And also, I mean, the whole thing is amazing, I think, because now the complex will actually function as a place to invite dignitaries over to the Obama administration or the Biden administration. They had a movie set up across the street.
Yeah.
And we're in a movie studio, and the press was in the movie studio pretending like they were in the White House. And that's not an issue. But Donald Trump remodeling the East Wing and tearing it down and building something better is.
And by the way, Rev Rob likes Fuzzy Jeff, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we could do it we could do a segment like each Tuesday. We could do two for Fuzzy Jeff for Tuesday.
And we can go in with my voice.
I can talk like this.
I just called you a furry.
Oh, God, don't be a furry.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, my God. All right, so look at what happened last night at UC Berkeley. Check this out. Antifa going crazy. Look at this.
Talk about furries.
So look at them. Wow. And then later that night, guess who came out? It was what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel. Listen to this.
There is not an Antifa.
Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. It is in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's a moniker. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys are.
Things like Antifa are things that are thought up.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization called Antifa.
Nobody's a member of Antifa because it doesn't exist. They are just
declaring into existence something that doesn't exist.
There is no Antifa organization, so maybe that's good for social media, but it really is non-existent.
They exist on the internet in chat rooms and in 4chan and Discord and places like that, where they run discussion boards, trade tactics, documents, things like that. But none of them are called Antifa.
They call themselves Antifa.
Yeah, they do. But they're not violent, Shady. They're not violent, and they're just peacefully protesting wearing furry suits.
Wearing furry suits, and like the flyer said something about the degenerates and the furries coming out, come one, come all. Like, yeah, like, make yourself known. Bring some illegals to the party too. We'll see if we can sort it all out. I just found it very interesting. Don't you find it interesting that Antifa is very like, these people are 100% of the time guarding whenever you want to have, like, like the bar wants to have their trans event, and they bring it. I have no idea what I was getting ready to say there.
Well, you said it very nicely.
What did I say? What was
I don't know, man. I was trying to thank. So I'm going to just thank Rev Rob, Max Headroom flashback, when we were doing that. Yeti says, Jingleheimer Schmidt's match game. Use your browser to match me ducks to support the guys. Choose 17, 34, 51, 68, 85, 102, 119, 136, 153, and 170. Thank you so much. We got a $25 from Trust. Thank you to our veterans, and the American spirit is strong. God bless you. God bless you. Trust you Trust USA. What is it? Wait. It just went up. Trust 1961 USA. God bless you. And God bless our troops, Shady Grove. We support the troops here on the MG show.
We absolutely do. And I apologize for that. That whatever he said something in my head, said in trouble. Everything I was thinking jumped right out of my head.
Well, it's all good, because we're coming to the end of our show. Now it's time to say goodbye
Mikey, help me.
to all our company.
Mikey Mariano, thank you so much. You helped me there. Yes, what I was saying was, how do they always end up next? Like, if you notice, whenever they're doing their drag queen events at the bar, you'll notice that the Antifa are outside guarding the event. Whenever they do the transgender stuff or whatever they're doing, the Antifa are right there to guard and to help them. All this stuff that was going on in Portland, the Antifa is right there. But the politicians, the only politicians that can't see the Antifa are the Democrats. And it's almost like the Antifa are the foot soldiers that the Obama administration built and claimed it was going to be more built up than the United States military. And I don't really see that they've hit their mark.
That's right. And we're going to head on out of here. God bless you all. What day is it? Tuesday, November 11th, 11/11, Shady Grove.
Is it Friday?
No.
Oh, you said it was Tuesday already, didn't you?
Yeah.
That means we got a couple more days. But that's okay, because we're going to be back tomorrow on Trump Day, Wednesday.
Trump.
Thank you for YouTube and all the new... Our YouTube channel is running over here. Did you see that?
Wow.
Crazy.
And we got to play copyright-free music, guys.
Yes. Because we don't want Jeff humming.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
In my suit?
Really good. No.
In my suit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to find out. What should we play, Shady Grove?
You don't want to ask me that question because I can't see the playlist and the... All
right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, I want you to play that.
There we go. God bless you all. We
Exactly
do this
what I wanted.
for the children. God bless you all. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Children of tomorrow, I apologize to you on behalf of those in my time for the things we didn't do. We didn't stop the tyrants so your fate could be prevented. We watched them steal our freedom. By silence we consented. We didn't choose to circumvent the doom you've not escaped, while the Bill of Rights was murdered and the Constitution raped.
Just really quick about this song. This was a poem that I vowed to myself that I would never let happen and do something about it. That's why we're here on the MG Show today.
Some of us were lazy, others too afraid to think about our children, the ones we have betrayed. I guess we were too busy to be concerned or care, to try to ease the burden of the chains we made you wear. We could have been good shepherds when the wolf got in the fold, but we watched the flame of freedom die instead and left you cold. I'm sorry we were timid, my selfish generation. We left you but a remnant of a free and prosperous nation. I'm sorry for our actions, like cowards we behaved. We could have left you freedom, instead you are enslaved. My selfish generation, we left you but a remnant of a free and prosperous nation. I'm sorry for our actions, like cowards we behaved. We could have left you freedom, instead you are enslaved. Children of tomorrow, descendants of our land, I'm sorry we allowed this, the fate you now withstand.
Where we go one, we go all. We are fixing it. We're back at you guys. God bless you. God bless Donald J. Trump. See you tomorrow.